Today, we're diving into something about dolphins that is so wild, it's going to completely change how you think about them. And it all starts with a kind of strange question. Seriously, just think about it for a second. What if your name wasn't something your parents gave you? What if you got to pick it? Like you just came up with a unique sound that was just you. Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? Well, get this. It is not science fiction at all. Dolphins do exactly that. They actually give themselves their own names. And what's even crazier is that they use those names to call each other, to get their attention. Okay, so how on earth does that even work, right? Well, scientists have a specific name for this whole incredible thing. It's called the signature whistle. I know, sounds super sciencey, but let's be real. It's a name. It's basically a dolphin's name. It's their own personal acoustic signature. So when they're really young, like little dolphin calves, they start to develop this personal whistle. And we're not talking about just some random squeaks and clicks. No, this is a super specific, consistent sound that they will use for their entire life to say, hey, this is me. It works just like our names do. It's pretty much a dolphin swimming into a group and going, hey guys, Kevin's here. It's their way of announcing themselves. But okay, having a name is one thing. That's already pretty cool. But using those names to call other dolphins out, to single out one individual, that's a whole different ballgame. That is next level intelligence. So you might be thinking, okay, they just hear a whistle and go, oh, that's Kevin, right? Just simple recognition. But it's way more active than that. They will literally copy Kevin's signature whistle perfectly just to get his attention. Yeah, exactly. It's not just them recognizing his voice. It's them shouting, Kevin, across the ocean. It's the same difference between, say, you hearing your friend talking in a crowd versus that friend yelling your name to get you to look over. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds almost too crazy to be real. So, how do we know this is actually what's happening? Well, scientists came up with a really, really clever experiment to prove it. And the whole setup was actually beautifully simple. First, they'd record one specific dolphin's signature whistle, their name. Then, they'd take that recording, play it back underwater through speakers, and just watch what that dolphin did. And the results? They were crystal clear. When a dolphin heard its own whistle played back, bam, it reacted instantly. It would turn, it would whistle back. But when it heard the name of a different dolphin from its own pod, nothing. It completely ignored it. I mean, talk about cold. That's the ultimate left-on read of the ocean. They knew it wasn't their name, so they were just like, nope, not for me. Didn't even bother to look. So what does all this mean? What does this one ability really tell us about dolphins? Because this is way, way bigger than just some clever animal sounds. This is huge. The ability for an animal to think of itself as an individual, as an I, and then create a label for that self, that is a sign of incredibly high-level intelligence. In fact, pretty much no other animal on the planet besides us can do this. Just think about everything this one skill implies. It means they have self-awareness. They know they are an individual. It shows massive social intelligence. They know others are individuals too. It takes a crazy good memory to keep track of everyone's name. And it's a type of communication that's getting really, really close to how humans talk. It really makes you wonder what's going on in their heads, right? They're not just hearing a noise. They're processing real social information. It's like they're thinking. And who knows what else is going on in that conversation? Maybe there are tones and contexts we can't even pick up on. I mean, maybe they even have nicknames. And you better believe you're using the full formal whistle when you're talking to the head of the pod, right? The possibilities are just mind-blowing. So, let's wrap this up. The next time you see a dolphin, just remember, that animal has a name that it chose for itself. It has friends who call it by that name, and honestly, it's probably navigating a social life way more complex than we can even imagine. And this all leaves us with one last big question. I mean, this discovery just tears up the rulebook on what we thought animals could do. So if dolphins can name themselves, what other animals out there are secretly way, way smarter than we give them credit for? What else is going on in the ocean or in the forests that we just haven't figured out yet?